to school. Starting in 2027, some freshmen will not receive final letter grades during their first semester. Instead, they will see letter grades throughout their classes, but their final grade that goes on their record will just be recorded as either a pass or a no credit. This new policy will apply to students in the College of Literature, Science, and the Arts. The university says the goal here is to support students' mental health. And people in Northwest Indiana still have a huge mess on their hands. They're dealing with it while having no power. We've got live reports from some of the hardest hit areas.
And the Bears could be making an official announcement about a Hammond Stadium today. We are telling you what we're hearing so far.
All right, we want to take a live look. Look at this group. We love these students from Leo Catholic High School celebrating 100 years.
Wow.
Gabby is there to take us around the festivities. I hope we get a musical performance as well. Their choir's so amazing.
That would be cool. And no surprise here. We got another chance of storms this afternoon and also more intense winds. Caitlin, she has been so busy and she's standing by with your forecast.
I feel for you, Caitlin.
Yeah, you've been working round the clock, it feels like.
Well, everybody, right? Northwest Indiana, especially, they got hit so hard. I know cleanup is still underway. It's been a really busy week. It actually started last weekend. Satellite and radar right now shows generally quiet conditions, although we are watching the storm complex pushing in out of Iowa here shortly. The good news is it's moving into an environment that's not so supportive of strong storms, although we still have the potential for a few severe thunderstorm warnings, and it's not out of the question that we do get a tornado warning too for our far southwestern counties. Visibility really is what we've been focusing on this morning because this is the only hiccup in your travel plans. We're down to a quarter mile of visibility from LaSalle to Morris and Valparaiso and Aurora, Joliet. Dense fog advisory still in place. We'll take a look at the timing of those showers and storms that are on the way today ahead.
All right, thank you, Caitlin. People in Portage, Indiana, facing a major cleanup process while many of them are still without power.
Yeah, we got Saquon live there this morning with the very latest. Hi, Say.
Hey guys, yeah, we have been driving all over Portage, Indiana this morning, just taking a look at the widespread damage that we're seeing. And for the most part, it seems pretty random and sporadic. Some parts of Portage are hit harder than others. And of course, if you weren't in that direct path, it's you know, you're kind of lucky. We've seen some homes with a lot of damage. We've seen some homes untouched. And now we're kind of at this busy stretch of road here. We're at the intersection of Route 6 and Scottsdale Street. And this is a lot of what we've seen in Portage as well. No stoplights are working right now, and a lot of people are pulling into the high school parking lot. And in fact, you can see that the power is on here. We heard from the mayor overnight who said Portage High School is the only high school in this district right now with power. In fact, we came here because there's supposed to be a meal distribution event happening at 8 o'clock this morning. That's what I've been telling you all throughout the morning. That has now been pushed back to 10 o'clock this morning. We were just told that when we got here. So we'll check back in here closer to 10 o'clock and see how the lines are forming. But we've already seen a lot of cars pulling up here at the high school. A teacher told us today that the turnout was incredible yesterday. She estimated over 1,000 people came out here to Portage High School for this meal distribution event. All right, so we heard from the mayor, as I mentioned, and he was saying a lot of debris, for the most part, has been removed from roads, and many roads are back open. So this is a positive update from what we saw even just 24 hours ago. He did say for the people who are in areas where roads are not necessarily clear yet, he did say that his teams are not able to touch trees with wires on them until NIPSCO says it's safe to do so. So they got to get that green light first before everything is cleared out of the way. School is canceled for the rest of the week due to those power outages and damage. As I mentioned, the only school with power here right now is Portage High School. Shelters are also available for people who might need it at this time. There are several locations. These locations here, including Woodland Park, Bonner Senior Center, and Northwest Health Building, those are going to be open 24 hours. And it sounds like power is on at those locations. There's another shelter in Valparaiso. It's the Daybreak Shelter. That's also available, but you are asked to call ahead if you plan on heading there. As I mentioned, Several meal distribution events are happening today as well. The Salvation Army, for example, hosting theirs here at Portage High School. Once again, if you're just tuning in with us, as I've been saying, it was supposed to be at 8 o'clock this morning. That has now been delayed and pushed back to 10 o'clock this morning until 2 p.m. today. There's also going to be things like charging vans on site. So if you need to charge up those devices and find a way to get updates throughout the week, that's a great tool and resource that you can take advantage of. Strachan Van Til is also hosting its own meal event at 6 of its locations. That includes this location here in Portage, Valpo, St. John, Highland, Hammond, and Cedar Lake. That's going to be happening from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. today through Saturday. As far as volunteers go, we have been checking for updates on when people are clear to come out here to Portage to start helping out these crews and affected residents. The mayor is saying just hold off on that for now, as crews still are continuing to clean up some of the major debris off of certain roads here. And once they kind of assess that it's safe to do so, then they'll put out that call for volunteers. We have not heard anything as of right now, but we'll continue checking and we'll let you know if that changes. Guys.
Oh, I'm sure people will step up to the plate as soon as that call is issued. Say, thank you so much. It's 8:05. And concert goers, hey, you may be in luck. Even though the Credit One amphitheater in Tinley Park was severely damaged, the show will go on, apparently. Saturday's Lynyrd Skynyrd show is expected to go on as scheduled. Ticket holders will be notified about anything, if anything changes there. You can see the roof damage there. Tuesday's storms really did a number on that. You can see all the debris on the lawn.
Wow.
Yeah, winds reportedly reached around 100 miles per hour right there through Tinley. And crews right now, they're in cleanup mode, they're in repair mode. So, yeah, as of right now, that Lynyrd
show
Skynyrd
must go on, I suppose.
Sweet Home Alabama will be played down there. All right, let's get an updated look at the power grid here. This is NIPSCO's website. Still, more than 250,000 people in Indiana are without power. That is down from closer to 300,000 at this time yesterday. Meantime, here on the Illinois side, ComEd is still reporting 1,600 outages, which is affecting a little more than 72,000 people. So, yeah, still some work to do. Okay, speculation has been running wild over the last day or so about what the Bears might announce today. The mayor of Hammond, Indiana, says the Bears are going to make some sort of announcement. However, a reporter for Capital News Illinois says it won't be anything major. The Bears haven't made any public decisions about where they will put a future stadium. As they say, stay tuned. It occurs to me that perhaps they're making a weather-related announcement or some support for Hammond,
right.
Indiana.
Like, what is it?
Yeah,
that would be smart.
because they were really,
helpful.
really hard hit.
That's true.
We shall see. Check out these cute little belugas there. They're more on the way to shed. 4 female whales leaving Canada to join the other 4 beluga that arrived there on July 21st. These new whales are arriving soon. We don't know exactly what time. In total, the shed will now have 16 belugas, including the 8 that already live at the aquarium. So that's 24.
That's a lot.
It's a party.
We got a whole beluga party out there.
A beluga bonanza.
That transportation situation is so interesting how they do that.
Oh, it was very impressive how they did that.
New this morning, someone in Illinois has won the Powerball jackpot prize, my new best friend out there. The winning ticket for just over $1 billion was sold at a Hy-Vee gas station in Quincy, Illinois. That is a cash value of over $450 million. It's the largest Powerball prize so far this year. However, this is the second time in about a year that an Illinois resident won this massive lottery. In March of 2025, someone in Cortland, Illinois, won a $364 million Mega Millions jackpot. So there you go. The winner is out there somewhere, about 4 hours here from Chicago.
Wow.
A recent security threat to the president led to an interesting decoy operation. We've told you about this here. We're learning more about how they're planned, these decoys here with a former Secret Service agent.
Yes, we're going to take a quick break. And before we do so, we're going to give you a quick rundown of your 7-day forecast. We will be right back.
Wherever you live in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana, a trained Four Seasons technician is only moments away. We live here, work here, and call your neighborhood home. Heating, cooling, plumbing, sewer, or electric, Four Seasons never charges extra for nights, weekends, or holidays. With 30,000 plus 5-star reviews and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, you can always count on Four Seasons.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons.
Welcome back. We got power out across northwest Indiana. At the same time, people are trying, of course, to clean up from the storm damage from this week.
Yeah, it's a mess. Let's send it out to Brittany Tulis, who's been monitoring how they're handling things in Munster, Indiana. Brittany, what are you seeing?
Yeah, guys, we actually left Munster and came to Highland to check on that Meyer gas station again, the only one working right now in our drive from Munster to Highland. And you can see the line is still sprawling. This is Indianapolis Boulevard. These cars are headed southbound on the boulevard. You can see the line going up to that overpass right there. So that's how long this line is. And you can see it spins through the parking lot, down the street. And the Myers employees have it a little more organized than yesterday. They had a little more time, so you can see they have people directing traffic. They have one of the lanes blocked, so they have a steady flow of vehicles and people directing which pump for drivers to go to. So lines are still long here. We're still seeing people filling up gas cans for generators. But this, again, only gas station we saw that was open from our drive from Munster, and town officials actually in Munster declaring that area a disaster area. Now, that declaration helps Munster officials unlock additional resources to help with their cleanup, and residents across northwest Indiana spending the last 2 days chopping up downed and uprooted trees that fell on their homes, fell on their cars, and blocked roads. Now, in Munster, the Town Hall and Public Works Department's phones are still down, and NIPSCO is showing there's over 10,200 Munster customers without power. Here in Highland, that number's sitting at about 10,000 customers without power. And the people without power aren't just residents, there are businesses as well. We saw grocery stores without power in Munster. In the drive from Munster to Highland here, gas stations all in the dark. This Meyer, the only one we saw that was still operational, and it had long lines sprawling down the block yesterday, and these long lines are still here this morning as people are lining up again, to fill up their gas tanks, fill up gas cans to power generators because they are still in the dark. NIPSCO calling this outage the largest outage event in company history. Now back out here live, if you are in Munster, just know all school activities have been closed until at least Monday, pushed back till at least Monday. So there is no school for the rest of the week, no school activities for the rest of the week. Officials asking people to stay off school property so it can be cleaned of that debris. And if you are in Munster or anywhere around and need somewhere to go, the community center here in Highland is a cooling center that's available, and the Lions Club in Munster also available for you to cool off or charge your devices. But big cleanup here, and you can see a lot of people still trying to get fuel any way they can for their vehicles and for their generators back home, guys. I'll send it back to you for now.
Yeah, the lines continue. Brittany, thank you for being out there this morning here. We want to talk about that weather forecast with Caitlin now, because it seems like this whole week we have threats of storms.
That's right. Chance for storms back again today. In fact, some may be strong to severe, but I do want to start off talking about our current conditions, because so far it's been quiet outside of some fog that has developed. So checking in on our dense fog advisory that is in place for just under another hour, about 45 more minutes for those of you in our southern, western, and northwest Indiana counties. The dense fog advisory in place because we have seen visibilities drop down to a quarter mile or less in many spots. Temperatures outside right now are in the 60s and 70s. It's 73 degrees at the lakefront as well as O'Hare, 71 from Joliet to Chicago Heights and Merrillville, 72 at LaSalle. These 70s, 60s, and 70s turning over to the upper 70s and low 80s this afternoon. Looking at our future cast, we have scattered showers moving in from the west at 12:45, heading to around 2 to 3 p.m. You can see some thunderstorms ramping up in intensity. This is where we have the best chance for severe weather, including damaging winds, is going to be in our southwestern portions of Chicagoland. 3:45 still with the storms moving through. Then we get into this evening and a bit of a lull before the rain ramps up overnight tonight. Showers and storms expected to continue tonight as well as tomorrow, and we could have some flooding concerns as we have this rain moving in the same locations over and over again. Heading through the day on Friday, though, by lunchtime, again, few and far between as far as the rain showers go. Many of us have dry hours. But then this weekend, the chance for rain is back. Saturday as well as on Sunday. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are in the forecast, so plan accordingly. Just have a backup plan. You can see Saturday morning we have some scattered rain, so it's not going to be a washout, but we do have that potential both Saturday and Sunday. Here's that risk for severe weather for today. As mentioned, southwest of the city, we have a marginal risk, level 1 out of 5 in green, level 2 out of 5, slight risk there in yellow. Back to you.
All right, Caitlin, thank you so much. It's 8:16, and guess what? This is so cool. Leo Catholic High School is celebrating 100 years today.
So let's send it out to Gabby, where the school day is just starting for Leo. Hey, Gabby.
Guys, can you believe it? 100 years. This is the 100th school year at Leo High School. But you know what I love about this high school? They do it big every year. Because I've been here before for the first day of school, and they have the drum line going, making every single class feel special, not just for the 100th year. I want to show you some video from just moments ago, before when students were coming into this school, and you can see that drum line, students coming across the street, and alumni going crazy as they see them. So exciting. And I have a couple of special guests here too. I'll have Charles, I'll have Jakai, I'll have Jordan come on in. So Charles, father here, you are class of 93.
Yes.
Now you see your son, Jakai, graduate in 23, and then Jordan is a senior this year. How proud are you to see your sons continue the legacy?
So yes, it brings me joy to see these two gentlemen grow up from a baby to now a man. He was reluctant at first to come to Leo, but now he's so excited that he's now a Leo alumni. My son right here, he embraced it with open arms, which is great. These kids have been coming here since they were in grammar school. I want to say in diapers, really. And growing up, they were like, oh, Dad, I had to come to Leo, but now they love it here. They love it.
Oh, I love it. Before I put pressure on you guys, having you talk, being an alumni, you know, you guys do this almost every year. Welcome the students in, make it big for them, make everyone feel special, keep the Leo spirit alive. How special is that, you know, to be able to experience from the other side, to see these new students coming in?
So what brings me joy is the fact that I can see other younger alumni, and I reflect on myself, saying, oh, I was this young man at one point in time, and it brings me joy to know that young men like the ones that are coming in, and I can stand there and I can welcome them in. It just gives them motivation. It gives me motivation to be a Leo alumni and keep us thriving, to make other children like my own children to be successful.
Okay, Jakai, a couple years out of high school now. Oh, what are you up to? I mean, also, Leo holds a big name, so I bet you have people that are like, oh, I know Leo High School out of Chicago.
So I go to school in Western Michigan right now. So my senior year, so my parents got 2 seniors, so they don't get a break from college tuition. It was Leo taught me a lot. We go by the saying factor nonverbal, which is so what you're doing, don't say it. So it taught me a lesson, and when I went to Western, I had the foundation that I learned at Leo to get where I'm at right now, about to be a senior, about to graduate. It went by fast.
Congratulations. I know that your parents are so proud of you. All right, Jordan, pressure's on. Big brother's doing well. What do you have planned for your last school year here at Leo High School, and then for your future?
Just applying for scholarships, looking at different colleges that I'm interested in. I've been on a couple college tours. Leo has just been a great experience, great opportunities for me to do different tours around the world, and just different experiences that you can't get anywhere but Leo.
Okay. Did they do it big enough for you guys for the 100th year?
Yes, yep. Mm-hmm.
Were you surprised to see that many people out there?
Yes. Well, kind of not, because I mean they do it every year, but this year was way more people. Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. Okay, now there's going to be a whole breakfast and fellowship happening in the next room. We'll bring you more information. Leo High School always doing it big, especially for the 100th year. All right, we have much more of Chicago's Morning News on the way. Keep it right here.
Welcome back. It's 8:23. The president was recently part of an elaborate decoy operation to secretly leave Turkey due to some security threats. Reports say that he was moved onto a military jet while members of his staff and members of the press were left on the original aircraft that he was meant to be on.
Tons of questions here. Like, were the people on the decoy jet at risk? How common is this? We're getting some answers this morning with Michael Verdon, former Secret Service agent. Thank you for being here.
Good morning.
So we were just chit-chatting during the break. So talk a little bit about why the Secret Service would do this, because you said you've been in this situation before?
in the same exact country. So let's set the stage here. They're in Ankara, Turkey. They had arrived the day before. He was attending the NATO summit. The point I'm making is he had been there for about 30 hours. Also, Turkey borders Iran, and we know what's going on in Iran right now. So you have a nearby adversary. So from a security standpoint, when you're stationary for that long, there is a concern. So then obviously there was a credible threat. And from what I've researched, you know, the Secretary of War and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff were part of this plan. This was not an ad hoc plan. This was well thought out. And yes, they did covertly move the president. He boards Air Force One in front of the media, but what they don't see is him deboarding Air Force One in the back of the plane, going into a service truck and being moved to another aircraft.
Okay. So this has raised questions about vulnerability and risk for the folks that were on the original aircraft that was supposed to leave and supposed to have the president on board. What are your thoughts there in terms of putting White House staff members and the press, for example, at risk?
Yes, and I'll be candid, they're at risk. They're at risk when they're with the president. They're at risk in this case when they're not with the president. So there's a press pool on Air Force One. There's also a press plane with a lot of trips. When it's like a NATO, they'll have a second plane. So they're traveling into areas with the president. I can use Butler as the example. Even though he was the presidential nominee, they have a front row seat to a tragedy. We had a spectator killed. We had the president wounded. The media is right there. There were 8 shots fired in their vicinity. So they know it. They know what they're signing up for. And it's just an acceptable risk when you're in the White House press pool.
So if you're in the White House press pool and you're on that plane, they did not know at the time what was going on.
They did not know. Wow. Because that's I guess the secret in the Secret Service, but there's a concern of it leaking out, right? Now, I have the experience, like we were talking before, I have the experience of being in that decoy motorcade, and it was in Turkey. And what we did is we took a Secret Service agent, put a baseball cap on him, and he looked similar in build to the president, put him into a limo. I was in the limo. We had other motorcade vehicles, and we drove the motorcade route, with the actual president still back at the airport in another motorcade. We made sure the route was safe and secure, and then the president was able to attend his event.
Got it. Now, what are your thoughts about the Qatari jet that has been used at times as Air Force One and its apparent lack of certain defense capabilities? How dire of a situation is that? And what are your thoughts in general about using a foreign gift?
Yeah, I have to speculate. I'm no longer, whatever, knowing about classified information. Yeah. I'm a little bit, I'm questioning that, because if they're going to fly him on that aircraft, there's a term called retrofitting. The bells and whistles that Air Force One has, they could put into this aircraft. And I have to make an assumption, but I would think he would not flying on an aircraft that didn't have those defensive and offensive measures as part of that plane. I think it's more conjecture by the media than anything else. So we don't know, but I really question that. But it sounds like they did put a pause on that, and he went back to flying the old Air Force One.
Right.
Talk a little bit more about the non-traditional way that they moved the president through, like a catering container, a catering truck. Is that pretty common?
Once again, I have to admit, that's the first time I've seen that. Okay. I've seen other things.
Is this creative?
It's creative. I give them credit. He's a big guy. He's 6'3", 240 pounds. You know, when I was there, the president was smaller in stature, so we had a better chance to kind of do what they did last month. So yeah, once again, it was a well thought out plan. I'm not surprised that it was innovative, no question about it. But back to, it wasn't ad hoc. It was well thought out. I've read where he flew a military aircraft from Turkey to the UK. I've also read where he flew the Qatari aircraft from. So I've heard both accounts of where I'm going. But either way you look at it, No one knew he was on that other aircraft. They all thought the president was on Air Force One, including the media. Thing is, he boards the front of Air Force One. The media's in the back of the plane. They don't know his whereabouts. It's like a flying Oval Office.
Right.
And his doors are closed, so they don't know who's on board.
Very, very interesting.
Wow.
I know this is getting a lot of buzz. Thanks for the insider info.
Thank you.
From your point of view as a former Secret Service agent, Michael. All right, 8:28, sending things over to Caitlin and Cody for a look at what she has coming up in her weather report.
It's foggy out there now, but outside of that, fairly quiet. We're watching thunderstorms moving in out of Iowa again today. Small chance for severe weather near the city, but southwestern counties, that's where we have a slight risk for not only damaging wind, but you can't rule out a tornado today. I'll time it out for you coming up.
Thousands of people in northwest Indiana are still without power this morning because of those intense storms this week.
So we want to send it out to Saquon, live for us in Portage, with the latest on cleanup there. Hi, Say.
Hey guys, yeah, so we actually, as I've been mentioning, we've been driving all over Portage here, just taking a look at the damage, and it's pretty widespread. This time we are here at Portage City Hall, and it looks like they're using generators here as well. We actually did meet Bill today in the parking lot, just by chance, and you were telling me that the command center has pretty much been relocated here now.
City Hall, right, because a lot of our buildings, obviously, with the 100-mile excessive winds, took out our internet and took out power. So the City Hall still had internet and still had power with this generator. So we moved a central command center here for the police, fire, and all the city services to use this as a command center.
And you were telling me that, you know, a lot of them are relying on Verizon, right? So they use Verizon, and we can see that Verizon tower right behind you.
Responders use Verizon, and one of the difficulties we had, Verizon's tower, I guess, to the north, I'm not sure exactly, but that's the reason why this is here, it went out of service. So, which caused a lot of problems. And of course, people typically get on their phones when an incident like this happens, but that even escalated the problem. So Verizon moved this, I guess they call it a mobile cell tower here so that the cell reception would be better.
And what have things been like for you this week? I mean, how is the command center? Like, what's been going on?
Oh, it's been hopping, as you could imagine. Portage, from what we understand, from what our Porter County Emergency Services say, it really got hit the hardest. Now, we understand other communities get hit hard as well, although we did have the house incident. We have gas leaks in the area that are popping up. But as you could see, you moved in, just the decimation, the trees, and this is cleaned up. What you see today has been cleaned up greatly thanks to volunteers that we have and our city services getting things cleared out for NIPSCO so they can go in and repair those wires. So, but what I saw during the incident was just, I happened to be going to Valparaiso, just down the road here, and at that point it was just a storm warning, nothing to this magnitude. And all of a sudden, my phone went off, indicating that there was a tornado warning. So we saw shelter immediately, and I saw power poles literally go at a 45-degree angle. They didn't snap, but they sure looked like they were going to snap.
Definitely, and we're seeing a lot of that here in Portage as well. Bill, thank you so much for your time and for that insight. Really appreciate it. Something that I want to mention too, you know, that Bill was talking about NIPSCO, we did pass a parking lot with about a fleet of over 10 NIPSCO trucks. We're talking utility trucks, excuse me. If you want to get really specific, they're bucket trucks, right? So we've seen fleets of them just hanging out here, and it looks like they were huddling up and getting ready to get sent out to places and start restoring some of these power lines and fixing up everything. One thing I want to mention, there are shelters available for people who need it right now. There's open 24/7. There's 3 locations that are open 24 hours. Woodland Park, Bonner Senior Center, and Northwest Health Building. So you can head there. There's another shelter in Valparaiso that you can go to called the Daybreak Shelter. You're just asked to call ahead if you do plan on heading there. Hey, there are several events that are happening as well. Meal distribution events. We know the Salvation Army is going to be posted up at Portage High School from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. today, handing out food and water. And then there's going to be a charging van on site as well. So for anyone who needs to charge up any of those devices, that's a great tool that you can take advantage of today. We're right by Strack and Van Til. This is also where another event is going to be happening today from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. today through Saturday. It's going to be happening at 6 locations. So that includes this one here in Portage, also Valpo, St. John, Highland, Hammond, and Cedar Lake. Once again, that's 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. today through Saturday. Guys.
Okay, thank you very much for that report. Let's check in with the situation in Highland, Indiana, which is about 15-20 miles west of where Say is right now. Brittany Tulis is giving us a live look at what they are dealing with in Highland. What are we looking at here, Brittany?
You're looking at a sign that a lot of drivers are not happy to see. It says no gas. I'm at a BP station just down the street from that Meijer. It's in part why that line for Meijer is so long. You can see this BP has power. The lights are on. People are coming out with items, so you're able to buy stuff. But they don't have any gas. We were told yesterday that this was functioning. They did have gas, but they may have just been cleaned out because this is one of only 2 gas stations we saw with even lights on in between Munster and Highland, Indiana here at this morning. So this is what the situation is. It's still got a lot of people inside getting ice, getting items, but that gas line in Meijer is no joke. The power outages here is called the largest outage event in NIPSCO history by that company. Not just people, a lot of businesses are out of power, and the damage also so bad in Munster, Indiana, town officials declaring that area a disaster area. And that declaration just makes it easier to get resources to help with that cleanup. And residents across Northwest Indiana spending the last 2 days chopping up downed and uprooted trees that fell on homes, cars, blocked their roads. In Munster, the Town Hall and Public Works Police Department phones are still down. NIPSCO showing there's over 10,200 Munster customers still without power. It's about 10,000 Highland customers here still in the dark. And again, it's not just residents, it's businesses like grocery stores, gas stations, all lost power. And we drove from Lansing, Illinois to Hammond, Indiana yesterday and saw just that Meijer open, and we also passed this BP here that was open as well. Again, today the BP is opened, but it has no gas. That Meijer still has gas, but that line is sprawling. It's lasting about a quarter mile down Indianapolis Boulevard here. And if you look behind me, you can see even all of the handles have those no gas little bags on them, those yellow bags, because that no gas line is a little hard to see when you are driving up. So people are still pulling up hoping to get gas like they were yesterday, and they can't here. Now also, if you are in Munster, know that all school activities have been pushed back till at least Monday. And also, if you need a place to cool off or to charge your devices, the Lions Club in Munster or the community center here in Highland will be open to anybody who needs it. I'll send it back to you guys for now.
All right, Brittany, thank you for that update. 8:39. Let's check back in with Caitlin to see if that community and others around Chicagoland are going to have more to deal with today.
More storms on the way. Yeah, we expect another round, not only today, but also tonight and tomorrow and this weekend. So we have this bumpy forecast out in front of us. Really, our next full dry day isn't going to be here until Monday. It's 73 degrees outside right now with an east wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. It feels good, but it doesn't look great. We have clouds hanging low, some fog throughout the area. Temperatures are ranging in the 60s and 70s. Currently, it is 74 degrees at the lakefront, 73 at O'Hare, and 74 at Midway, 69 from DeKalb to Kankakee and in northwest Indiana. Temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s. Here's our Storm Prediction Center's outlook for today, which does include a marginal risk level 1 out of 5 in green and a level 2 out of 5 further southwest. So portions of LaSalle and Grundy County included in that slight risk. Now, breaking down the threats associated with that storm potential today. Tornado risk does exist in portions of Kankakee, Will County, Grundy, and LaSalle. That's where it's focused in that green shade. Jasper and Newton counties are tagged in this too. Severe wind risk, though, does push all the way up into southern Cook County, including DeKalb County, Kane, Kendall, Grundy, Will, Kankakee, northwest Indiana, and then even higher in LaSalle and Grundy County. So wind and also tornadoes are not out of the question. Our futurecast does show over the next couple of hours we are going to have clouds in place, but not until around lunchtime. So midday, are we starting to see some thunderstorm development move into Chicagoland? 2:30, and it's still taking over as far as coverage goes. But then we get into this evening and things calm down with it being more sporadic with the thunderstorms. But then overnight tonight, we have training possible. So additional rainfall running in the same location over and over could lead to flooding early tomorrow. We'll have a look at your full 7-day forecast ahead. It's 8:41. Keep it right here.
Welcome back, 8:44 on your Thursday morning. It is back to school season. We all see on our social media feeds these first day of kindergarten, first day of, on the doorstep. The FBI, though, warning parents to be careful about what they post when they're sending their kids back to school. So we're checking in with Asher Red, who is live in Atlanta with more details on what the FBI is saying here. Asher?
Well, Anthony, the special agent in charge of the FBI's Atlanta field office tells me that the internet can be one of the most dangerous places for a child, and the parents posting their kids back to school photos are no exception. The FBI is warning parents not to accidentally reveal things like specific bus stops, routes, home addresses, and school names. They say online predators could potentially use these revealing posts to build a relationship with kids. And even if your social media account is set to private, it doesn't mean those details can't land in the wrong hands.
You can't control, once a picture hits online, you cannot control who shares it, you cannot control who screenshots it.
You shouldn't be posting your kids online like that and stuff like that. Just because, you don't know who's watching and then who might target you because they see oh, you're from this area, maybe I can get something out of this person.
And the FBI says those online relationships can lead to sextortion, which is when criminals threaten to share inappropriate images of a victim unless they send money. Last year, the FBI reported $13 million in damages from sextortion. Now, Georgia led the nation with $3 million in damages, with victims as young as 6 years old. And the FBI says even though your kid may think that their new online friend is their age, it could actually be an adult in another country.
They befriend kids as other kids. Usually it's a 40-year-old man that's internationally based.
We have a Apple family account so we can actually monitor pretty much everything that they're doing. I trust them, but I don't trust the people online.
And the FBI says an overwhelming majority of child sextortion victims are boys between 13 and 17 years old. Anthony?
Okay, Asher, thanks for the heads up there. I think it's a really important reminder as we gear up to go back to school. Asher Red for us from Atlanta. So there we go, Caitlin. Pictures are fine, but don't include school name, their name, the route, any specifics. So
I used to do that, kind of like the teacher's name, all of it. So then you can just get a generic sign that says first day of school, last day of school. Good enough. And then maybe in your own little book, you can write the things. Talking about the weather, it's going to be another busy day today. We have some fog out there this morning. Storms are possible, and we could see a few get strong to severe. The storms continue tonight and on Friday, unfortunately. But the temperatures are warming up this weekend back to the mid-80s. But the chance for storms is back too. So let's talk about our current conditions right now, 60s and 70s. 74 degrees at the lakefront, 73 at O'Hare, and 70 from Aurora to Kankakee, 72 from Merrillville to Gary. Our day planner has temperatures pushing to about 80 degrees this afternoon, mostly cloudy skies. As mentioned, the chance for storms is ramping up by midday. 81 degrees as our high today with a northeast wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight we're getting down to 68. Again, the chance for rain is back, and we could see some heavy downpours with it. Tomorrow, 80 with an east wind around 5 to 10 up to 15 miles per hour at times. Here's your futurecast, what y'all want to see. When is the rain moving in? Well, we have the potential for rain starting around 11 to noon, and then the thunderstorm activity really ramps up by midday on through the afternoon. We do expect heavy rain, especially tonight, unfortunately running through the same area, our southern counties, all the way into early Friday, where we could see some standing water, some flooding potential. By midday, we're seeing some spotty showers around, but then again Friday night into Saturday, we have the chance for additional showers and storms. So this weekend, it's not going to be a washout, but we do have the potential for rain and storms both days. And then on Monday of next week, Tuesday as well, finally we get a break from the rain and dry weather will return for a short period of time. 7-day forecast today, 81 as mentioned, 80 on Friday. This weekend, Saturday, Sunday, temperatures hovering in the mid 80s, and on Monday, 80 degrees with dry skies, continuing in the low 80s on Tuesday and on Wednesday. It is 8:48. We have so much more ahead. Keep it right here.
clock. It is 8:51 right now on a kind of foggy, murky day outside. Caitlin's tracking the chance of even more storms for the rest of the week here. So the recent severe weather, though, that we've already dealt with left behind a lot of damage and just as much opportunity for scammers to try and take advantage.
This is just so irritating
It's
that
so
we even have
sad,
to
yeah.
explore this, but we got to do it so we can all stay vigilant in the coming days. We're finding out what you should look out for with Steve Berners. He is president and CEO of the Better Business Bureau. Steve, thanks for joining us. Too bad it's under these kinds of circumstances.
Yeah.
Let's start off by having you run us through how quickly scammers tend to show up in situations like this, and what is their typical messaging or approach?
Good morning. Thanks for having me on today. Yes, they quickly run into these neighborhoods and they go like overnight, and they try to take advantage of consumers in so many different ways. They're basically coming from out of town. They have their own website. They know where people are at. They know the demographics of the area, and they try to take advantage in any way they can. And normally what happens is they come in, they can fix everything. They can do a quick job. They can, we need cash today to go with us. And what happens is, like, good doctors, good contractors are busy already before the storms. Then the storms hit, there's no contractors available. So unfortunately, people go with somebody knocks at their door, and that's not the best thing to do.
Okay, so on that note here, it's always weird that people do so much for a scam. I'm just like, just get a job and do all that work for a normal job. But let's say someone knocks on your door, like you mentioned. I mean, what are the immediate red flags that this person is not legit?
Well, you want to take a pause, too, and make sure that you verify the company itself. Make sure you look at the Better Business Bureau or other sources of information about the contractor, that they have some type of presence and license, and doing some research on them. But if they're asking for cash, or you got to sign right now without doing any homework or research on them, that what we call the tip-off to the rip-off. They want you to make that quick decision. They want you to sign over maybe the insurance check over to them that you may be getting. So they really want you to make that decision quickly without going to others. And again, even though water may be coming in your basement, or you may have a tree on your roof, or you need shingles repaired, or whatever it may be, take the time necessary to find a great contractor, because you'll spend all the time after trying to get your money back from the scammer as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Steve, what should a contractor, a legit contractor, be able to provide these homeowners before any work or anything's in ink, anything's signed, any money's exchanged?
Well, first and foremost is a contract, a thorough contract that contains all the information that they just talked about as well, but also insurance. Make sure they are insured. You got to call that insurance company to see if they're insured. And licensing. Most municipalities require some type of licensing by these contractors, and they say they can go around it, work around it. And if they ask you for cash, close the door as fast as you can as well. But do the research. The Better Business Bureau is a resource. Go to our website, bbb.org. We can help you connect with fine businesses that you can trust. And most consumers think of us as a complaint agency, but we're also a referral agency, been doing this for over 100 years.
Yeah, and that's going to be a really necessary resource here. I know you mentioned some of the contractors, the fixing scams, but what other type of scams are we talking about? I mean, there are utility scams too, right?
Yeah, there's people that come up in like those vests, those construction vests, and they may even have the utilities name on there. They want access to your house. Sometimes they actually want to go in the basement, and then the second group comes in because you left your front door open. So again, these are fake. These are not the utilities. They're fake companies, individual scammers making themselves look like the utilities as well. And the last storm, the Maryville Police Department issued a warning because residents of Maryville were getting fake invoices from volunteers who helped them at their houses, and they wanted to get paid for it as well. And the Maryville Police Department said that was a scam and don't pay those bills. But there's always somebody trying to take advantage of the situation. The damage is there. Now people want to profit from it, and unfortunately, the only put scams out of business and bad businesses out of business is not to give them your business.
Yeah, in the first place. Okay, we talked about contractors, talked about utilities. How about insurance? Okay, a lot of people are dealing with some insurance issues, especially with flooding and this weather-related damage. If someone offers to handle your insurance claim for you, or says they can guarantee your insurance that will cover the repairs, what are the red flags we need to be aware of here?
First is don't sign over your rights to the insurance company to take care of the claim. You do it. The insurance company sends out you to check for a reason. You have the leverage of that check. And in paying that contractor when they're finished, make sure you start with a third in the middle, third in the beginning, and then third at the middle, and then a third at the end as well. But insurance is contact your insurance company first. Let them know that you have these issues. They may provide some assistance as well, but don't sign that check over to the contractor. We want you to deal with the contractor itself. You pay them when the money's due, when they're completed.
Yeah, great tips, Steve. Thank you so much with the Better Business Bureau this morning, and really helpful information.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, our 9 o'clock hour of Good Day Chicago starts next. Stay with us.